Fire alarm users, special hazard users, and anyone needing to record alarm devices, which has that enabled inside their instance, will now be able to enter information into an area known as Alarm Device Catalog. Essentially, what this area allows you to do is pre fill in manufacturer and model information, as well as sensitivity test and sensitivity range for specific alarm device types. Now, in order for your technicians to be able to see this on their iPad, you first have to load this into the backend of InspectPoint. This is not set by anyone on the InspectPoint side and is completely optional for anyone using what, like I said, special hazards, alarms, or any sort of alarm device inspection where a device needs to be tested, essentially. So you have a couple of options as far as getting this information into the backend of InspectPoint. You will have the option to do one at a time, so if you have a smaller list and you're entering this information, you can come in, click new alarm device type, add the manufacturer, add the model, and set the type from the drop down here. Now, if you add any user added, just make sure that you've added those user added before you come in to try to add a new alarm device to that catalog. You also have the option, though, in the alarm device catalog area to do an export and import of this information. So if you do have a rather large list of your alarm devices, you can export out the import template, associate the type, manufacturer, model, and then import this information in. Of course, anytime you make any adjustments and additions to the backend of InspectPoint, in order for your technicians to be able to see that information on their iPads, you will need to um, have them log out of their iPad and log back in. Once that happens, that will allow them to be able to start seeing this information on their iPad. So, like I said, once you load the information in, it's just important that you make sure to let your technicians know that they have to log out and log back in. I'm just pulling up my iPad now so I can show you what that is going to look like. So once the iPad is connected, we're going to be able to pull up here. And on the iPad side, now that I've logged in and logged back out, when I tap onto the fire alarm system and I tap onto the alarm devices, when I'm coming in here, I might want to set this after I've already created a fire alarm, but most likely it's going to be when adding new alarm devices. So on here, you're going to see a device catalog search option now. And when you tap this, it's going to pull up anything that's in the back end of InspectPoint set as in your catalog. If there is something in here that does not exist, then the technicians can add that manufacturer and model information by hand. But if not, once the catalog, like I said, is added to the back end, there is the log out, the log back in, the sync between the iPad and the back end at that point. They'll be able to tap onto that and it'll pre-fill in the manufacturer and model as well as the device type on there. Now, of course, if you have any questions about this functionality, any issues come up, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at support@inspectpoint.com and we will be happy to give you a hand.